Hi, my name's Jen. Welcome to my channel, All My Plants. Today's video is kind of a mishmash of everything. I do some propagating, I do an unboxing, I reorganize some stuff, I separate some plants. It's a whole mishmash. Can't really remember what all I did because I'm recording the intro here after the outro. So check for some timestamps. If there's stuff you would like to skip or something in particular you would like to see, check down there and see if I've got it in here. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so I just got some plant mail from the Green Escape. It does have a sticker on it that says fragile, handle with care, but it kind of looks like they drop kicked it. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna see what they look like. I think it's 3. It's like 2 anthurium and a peace lily, I think is what's going to be in here. The most awkward way ever to open a box. Grown with love by Scott, packed by Maribel. Thank you, Scott and Maribel. I think. We'll see. What's that? Thank you for your order. Happy planning. Packing slip. Okay, anyway. Let's see what they look like. Ooh, I can feel the soil and it's kind of cool in this one. They're cool. I won't say cold, but cool. Ooh, okay. They look alright. This is Anthurium luxurians crossed with dark crystallinum dark form, something like that. So yay. Alright, I need to make labels or I won't know who's who. Actually, I'll just stick them with whatever the thing says. So I'm not going to get to repot them just this minute. I'll just sit him there. Alright, the next one. I guess this one might be slightly larger. It's only taped at the top, but like way at the top. That's strange. This must be the peace lily, I'm assuming. Oh yeah, I see where it says peace lily. Okay. Oh, it's definitely going to be taller than I was expecting. And this just looks like a green peace lily. It's supposed to be variegated. Yeah, variegated Spathiphyllum sensation peace lily starter plant. This is just a peace lily. There's no variegation on here at all. No sign of any variegation. So that's a lot to pay for a peace lily that's just a peace lily. Okay, well I guess I'll have to send them some pictures of that because none of this is showing any kind of variegation. Like, we're not talking a reverted plant. That's not what I ordered. So that's not good. We don't like that. Somebody just went, yeah, peace lily. And then this is the second anthurium here. And the last plant that I ordered. Oh, we've definitely got the leaves all mushed up. Ugh. Okay, so this is a nice sized plant. This is Dracelaria by Gunayala, I guess is how you'd say that. Definitely folded the leaves all up. But yeah, looking a little crumpled. A little bit crumpled. The roots look pretty decent though. They look pretty okay. Yeah. Okay, so happy with the anthuriums, but the peace lily, I don't know, that's just a regular peace lily. And do I have another pot? That actually might need to go in a slightly larger pot because that one's got a little bit more root going on. Just wrap it around there so maybe I don't forget. I have the heat on in here and it's blasting, so I don't know where I'm going to stick these. This cabinet's hot. Maybe not so bad on this lower part. Maybe it won't be quite so hot. Stick them in here and let them think about life, and I'll get them potted up here shortly. I'm going to message them about this peace lily though, because it's not variegated. And I guarantee you they're going to like give me a store credit or something, but it's too cold from now on, I think, to order things. I've had problems with shipping from them in the winter. Sometimes it doesn't go so great, so I guess I'll pot it up so it doesn't die, but this is definitely not what I ordered. I'm looking at the roots. They look okay. The plant itself is fine, but that's not, you know, what I asked for. Alright, so that's that part of this video. Okay, it is a wee bit later in the day, but I'm going to attempt to get these anthurium potted up. And I still forgot the marker for the tags. I got 2 tags over here though. Let me go find the marker. Okay, look at me go, boys and girls. Alright, what did I have here? I've lost the packing slip. There it is. I want to see what the packing slip says exactly. Yeah, Dracena by Gunayala. Why? I can't pick it up. Alright, and then the other one, Luxurians by Crystallinum Dark Form. Okay. Maybe I'll remember that DF means dark form. I don't know. But I couldn't fit it on the tag because I got big sloppy handwriting. I did message them about that peace lily, and it's like Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I got an instant response saying that all their employees are off for the weekend. So I don't expect to hear anything till Monday, Tuesday, whatever. But I did pot that up, and I set it aside out of this room because I don't want to give it thrips. I don't know if they're going to want me to send it back or what. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time that I've ordered from them, and they have sent me at least one plant that was not the correct plant. So I guess keep that in mind. Most of the time I just end up keeping the plant. Or they have also given me a refund for a plant that was the wrong plant. It was also dead, to be fair, so. I think it was Anthurium villanorum, and they sent me a Philodendron varicosum, like a starter plant, a Philodendron varicosum, and it was dead, but it took 3 weeks to get here. So this is the first one I'm doing, and this is going to be the Luxurians crystallinum. Maybe, I guess so, because it does have that bumpy texture, so some sort of Luxurian cross, I'd say. I assume it's the correct plant. It's hard to tell with Anthurium. I'm trying to pull some of this puck off, and I want to put the soil somewhere other than back in my bin, or the sponge, whatever this is on here. Put it in there. But yeah, the roots look pretty good. I see some that are definitely kind of through the sponge, and I'm going to attempt not to destroy any that are in here while also removing a portion of this sponge. I've left it on and then went and pulled pieces of it off later, like when I was repotting at a different time or checking the roots or something, and realized that this sponge was very dry even though the soil around it was quite saturated. So they tell you don't remove it, or you don't have to remove it, or whatever. What do they say? Yeah, do not remove it. It says remove the saran wrap around the roots. Do not remove the mesh lining, which there's no mesh lining here. It's a sponge of some sort. A brown sponge. It's not actually, I don't know what it is, but it looks like a sponge, kind of behaves like a sponge. Except for I could wet a sponge easier than I can wet this material. But yeah, in my environment, if I don't remove this, the roots that are inside there will eventually become pretty desiccated. And that's a sad thing. So I'm trying to remove as much as possible. Alright, there's a fair amount of roots going through the remainder of this, and I just don't really want to tear them up. I don't know if we're focusing, I hope we are. Yeah, I'm gonna pot it just like that, I guess. Into this size pot. Sure. It's kind of chunky and barky, so I assume it'll be okay. That, and it will be living in this cabinet down here, and this cabinet is hot. Things dry quick in here. I think it'll need that volume of soil just to stay damp long enough to actually hydrate the plant. I want it in here kind of snug, but not compacted either. I'm also kind of leaving the soil level low, that way I have time to kind of build it up some before I have to repot, potentially. We'll see how well it roots out, I guess. But yeah, that's that one. I am going to water them because its sponge wasn't that wet, so I'd say it was definitely on the drier side. Alright, that was which one? Just, nope. Luxurians Crystal Dark Form. Boop. That's a little label in there. This one here is a little bit bigger, or at least, well, the whole plant's a little bit bigger. That's the Gunayala, Dressleri by Gunayala. And this looks like, is it in a sponge as well, or is this more peaty? I can't tell. I'm not 100% sure. Ugh. This looks like it might actually be a little bit more peaty. This, I mean, it resembles a sponge. This here doesn't so much. Looks like pretty compressed peat is what this looks like. And it's coming away from the roots better than that other stuff does, so that's fun. Oh, there's actually two in here. Cute. Do I separate those? I mean, do I pot them separate? They are two separate plants. It doesn't look like they're coming from the same place down in there. We'll do a weenie. You waiting on me? 2 shakes, bud. Yeah, they are separate. Cool. Maybe I'll give one to my youngest daughter. I think she'd like one. Alright, so I guess that's my new plan. I don't have 2 small pots though. I only have one pot this size left. Yeah. Make sure I'm not using it to... Okay, I don't know where I was when the battery died, what I was saying, but there was 2 of the Dressleri Gunayalas in the same plug, which, cool. There they are. They were 2 separate plants coming from separate seeds, I guess. I'm not sure. They do look seed grown. Either seed grown or tissue culture. I'll put it that way. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to pot them up in. I guess whichever one has the more developed roots. They're actually both pretty well rooted. I guess we'll go with that one in there and this one in here. I'm going to give the extra to my daughter, my youngest daughter. But yeah, I picked the majority of that off. And yay! Bonus plant, I guess. I just got to make up a tag for the second one here. Yeah, it'll definitely fill out this size pot pretty quick. I think. Humble opinion. Yeah. But that's cool. I think she'll like that. That'll be a nice surprise. She's also pretty into anthurium lately, so we'll see if hers grows any better than mine. It might. It might. I think she has a tent. I don't know if she's got room in her tent for any more like anthurium and stuff, but I'm sure she'll find somewhere to put it. Okay, there's that one. I'm just setting them aside. I know they need water. I'm just setting them aside until I get them done out of the flow. Okay, I do need to make another tag. All right. If she can read my handwriting, or if I can read my handwriting, if anybody can read my handwriting. It's not the best. It's got a plastic tail. All right. I'm trying to leave a little bit of room in these pots, like I said too, as the baby leaves go. You know, the little baby leaves, to build the soil a bit higher to cover future, potentially future aerial roots as they develop. It doesn't look like I've left myself much room to do that in this one. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, if you see me sticking a plant that looks kind of sitting low in the pot, that's the method to my madness. Or maybe it's the madness to my method. Could be either, really, couldn't it? Alright, I'm going to water these guys in, and then we'll see what we're going to do next. Because they seem pretty thirsty. They all seem kind of thirsty. This one was drier than the luxurians crystallinum, so. But that one was kind of on the dry side too. Either way, water, because I've just repotted them and they've been traumatized by shipping and all that. They look good, other than the fact that the leaves on these guys were all folded up and it was the new leaf on each plant that's all creased and folded. So, not ideal. Not ideal. Not the way anthurium leaves like bruise and scar, especially when they're new. I don't know, it might fall out some once it's hydrated. We'll see. Alright, I'll be back. So it occurred to me that I was so far away, you probably really couldn't get a good look at these plants. But this is the Luxurians Dark Crystal Cross. This is the newest leaf on it. So, yeah, seems like that is what it should be. And it's very pretty already. It's a cute little guy. I like it. This is the Dracena guineala. This was the newest leaf on it that I said was all crumpled. But it's not looking bad overall. And then this is the other one behind it. Same thing, the newest leaf got all crumpled. But, you know, the other leaves are looking okay. So, we'll just let them grow. They seem to be settling in so far, so good. Hasn't been long, but yeah. You know, it's still the same day. Let's put it that way. Time will tell. So this room, still absolute chaos. There's a lot of plants sitting on the floor, kind of up and down both sides. And some of them are just that big that that's where they're going to have to sit, is in the floor. I've tried to get a lot of them up off the floor using, you know, plant stands, risers. I've got stools, like kitchen stools, bar stools, whatever you call them. And like little TV trays, tables, little tables to get them up. there's a lot in here, but I want to put more in here. I have a little like reclining chair. It's not like, don't think about your like lazy boy or whatever recliner, but it's a different type of recliner. I want to put that in here, and I think the wooden plant shelf that I have upstairs, I think I want to put that in here in front of this window that I'm staring at, or I guess these windows that I'm staring at, which right now currently have this plant on a bar stool and then other little plants next to it. I know it's backlit, I'm sorry about that. Also on little TV table tray things, whatever, folding tables, I don't know what they're called, they're small. But I want to put that shelf, it was, I think most recently, it's been in the background of the videos I recorded up in the plant room up there. But I think I want to put that down here, I think. And I also want to put that recliner that I'm talking about also on this end of the room. That's a closet door there, but it's, you know, a bifold door, so it doesn't take much to open it. It's got to have a few inches of clearance. I'm going to say it folds, the part that folds is probably about 14 inches, maybe 16. Don't look in my messy closet. But, so it doesn't need a ton of clearance behind the recliner for me to still get to it and get into it. But, because I will have a recliner in the way kind of on this side, I'm going to have to move these plants that I've shoved in this corner. So, that's on the agenda. I just don't want it to be quite so chaotic in here. Like, I want plants everywhere. I do. I want this room packed full to the brim with plants, as full as I can get it. But I also need to be able to get to the plants to water them and care for them and do whatever it is they need from me. So that's got to be a constant consideration. I also have hanging plants kind of stuck in random places, like hanging off of heavier pots, like where I was just showing you by the windows. You know, it's a Hoya just kind of hanging off the pot, and it's still, like, the vines are actually touching the floor. That's not ideal, so I have to figure out something in here for hanging plants. I don't really want to put them in my laundry room. I want to close the door and not heat that room this year. So usually I have a pole that runs 12 foot across the ceiling, I guess 12 foot long, and I can hang a fair amount of plants there, but honestly it's right above my washer and dryer, so the plants are smacking me in the face while I'm trying to do laundry, fold laundry, etc. It's not a great setup. And in here the ceiling slopes. You can kind of see it at the far end, that this is the high side, this is the low side. So I can't run it that way, or the plants will all slide, you know. Not ideal. I can't really run it this way because this cabinet is basically a permanent fixture now. I screwed it to the wall because the floors are not level at all in this house anywhere. And I don't want that to fall over me because I keep sticking stuff on top that I'm constantly reaching for and pulling down. So, yeah, we still have to figure out the whole hanging plant situation. Some of them hanging them on the wall is great, but then you really can't put things up against the wall because the plants will be smashed into the wall anyway. So that's fine there. I'll probably put poles here beneath them. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Every year when I take my plants in, like how best to set them so that they don't look terrible, number one, because I have to look at them all the time. I want them to look nice. And number two, how best to be able to still access them and care for them and check on them and water them and whatever, without maximum effort. I'm not great at, what do they call it, plant styling. Not great at that. Never have been. I'm more of a, let's set them here, and if they look okay, they look okay. So, you know, I'm not good at styling anything, really. You see me walking around in t-shirts and sweatpants all the time with pretty much zero accessories except my watch. That's, you know, I'm not a styling person. I try. I do put some effort into it, but that doesn't mean it pans out. So that's on the agenda, and we'll get back to that. But for now, I'm noticing some plants have some leaves that could go and make them slightly less of a space hog. Candidate number one would be this Monstera aria here. I think all of the new growth is reverted. This was from cuttings, I think, a couple years ago. I had a big one that I just chopped all the way back, every single bit of it. And I've cut some leaves off of it already that were just hogging space, but these two are kind of sticking out at odd angles, whereas the rest of it's growing more upright. So I'm going to get rid of those, get them out of the way. They're not particularly bothering anything except for taking up so much space. But yeah, this one was kind of starting to show its age a little bit anyway. I probably burnt it in the greenhouse. Look for thrips while I'm here. I haven't seen any more, which is incredible. And also unlikely. It's very unlikely that you will just throw some systemic in a handful of plants, and I do see some thrips damage on this one, like old thrips damage. Throw some systemic in there and spray it, you know, spray it, treat it once, whatever, and be done. That's very unlikely with pretty much any pest. I mean, you might knock them back, but they're going to crop back up. Let me see if I can get that closer so you can see what I'm talking about, thrips damage. It's just some speckles there. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. All right, Jake, calm yourself, sir. So anyway, I don't know. I'm still searching for thrips. It's been maybe a couple weeks since I found them now. I'm not sure. Shoving this old leaf in the trash. I should compost it, but I don't feel like walking all the way back there to take out a handful of leaves. This one here too is starting to look a little ratty, a little tatty. I don't see anything alive on there, but I don't know. I don't know. Isn't it funny? This leaf is very small for secondary fenestrations, but it grew from a mature cutting, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Some of the newer growth doesn't actually have it. This is not growing super fast or great either. I probably need to dig around the roots. I think it's 2 cuttings that I had put in here. This is 10 or 12 inch pot, somewhere in that neighborhood, I'm gonna say, because that's how much roots it had. I don't know, it's growing. I've never seen a Monstera, at least not Deliciosa, grow slower, so I probably need to investigate. We'll put that on the list. Whether or not I'll get to it today, I don't know. I don't know. And that plant's neighbor is Anthurium hookeri, and it just has some like insect damage, a lot of insect damage. I'm looking for older leaves is what I'd rather cut off than newer ones. It's a good plant. It's a good plant. It's tough, and it did have some thrips as well, I believe. I see speckles on it, so that's why I assume it did. Either way, it did get treated. I don't see any on it now, though. This leaf looks burnt, like it had some sunburn or something, plus some probably katydids in the greenhouse chewed on it. That there, that actually looks like thrippy damage on the other side. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this leaf just looks, you know, it's fading. Start a pile. This one here's got some damage. It's one of the older leaves. Just some yellowing, whether or not that's from pest damage or too much sun in the greenhouse, I couldn't tell you. And also bugs chewing on it. I don't know if I mentioned, but I think that's how my Clarinervium got pollinated, was maybe bugs in the greenhouse, because I didn't intentionally pollinate that. Anthurium Clarinervium. Bugs, or the cats walking around in there, frogs, lizards. I've got all kinds of things in there. This one here's got some heavy chewing on it. Oh, you can't see, can you? There we go. Peekaboo. So, yeah, that one's gonna go. I see another one over here, looking kind of ratty. These are old leaves. Look how small they were. They were quite small. That's about the size that's on my small hookeri, which is in a 8-inch pot. I hauled that, I think, this summer. Yeah, this one looks like it might have had some thrips damage too. I don't actually see anything on it. I should be wearing the magnifiers because I can't see well anyway. Look at around the, I don't know if you can see the weird texture around the veins there. That's not normal. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't matter because we're going to get rid of it. Is that all I want to cut off? No, there's another one over here, sprawling. This one here's got all kinds of katydid damage. Some quirky looking brown spots, which may just be where I burnt it. It was getting pretty high light. A lot of these plants, I will shuffle them around some so they don't char and become too crispy, but I don't really go out of my way to make sure that they're not getting too high light or too low light unless I can really see that it's really a problem. It's just a dried old, what you call them? Inflorescence. Looking to see if I saw any thrips on that. I don't know. Or aphids. I did find aphids on one of my orchid cactus, my night blooming orchid cactus. I can't remember the exact name of it. That's why I'm just calling it orchid cactus. The roots on this guy went crazy outside. Like, let me show you because it's creepy. It's creepy and you have to be creeped out with me. Yeah, that's just roots coming out of the base of this anthurium. They are on this one too. Like, you can kind of see them crawling across the top there, but that is insane. Insane. I don't want to put it in a bigger pot than this because this is an enormous pot already. It's heavy when it's wet, when I've watered it. If I have to move it, it's very nearly a two-man operation. Look at that poor leaf. It's all tattered. Those are all holes. I'm not sure if the hail did that. In the spring, I think in May, we had a hailstorm that really beat the crap out of a lot of my plants. While I still had them outside, but not quite in the greenhouse yet, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it even though it's pretty tore up because it doesn't seem to be bothering the plant that much. It's not browning anywhere. It's just beat up. And it is kind of one of the newer leaves. I'm trying to, if I remove a leaf, make sure it's an older leaf. Like this one here, I guess can go. It is kind of sticking out. We'll get rid of it. I don't know. It's got an inflow coming from it right there. So I think we're down to 3 inflows on this plant now. One is currently in the pollen phase, and the other 2 are on the backside, dying off. I mean, they've done whatever they're gonna do. They've had enough of being alive now. So that's not too bad. We just cut off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves and an old inflow, so it makes the plant just a smidge more compact and tidy. What are you eating? Don't eat that. Yeah, I think that looks better. Not that you can see it, but take my word for it. You might be able to see it a little bit, but yeah. Just looking for any other leaves over here that can come off while I'm over here. Guess I better check this guy because I know he had thrips. The Syngonium chiapense. Yeah, variegated. They were really easy to see on that white leaf. That's why I'm staring at that one. I don't see anything. Do I? No. It doesn't matter because I am going to go water it. This one does have systemic in it. I'm going to go water it because it feels kind of dry. The pole's not bad, but the soil is looking kind of dry. It needs a repot really bad. I have another cutting of it that I might put with it too. Like, it's got a root sticking out there. I don't know if you can see through the plastic. The saucer or whatever you'd call that, but there's a lot of roots down in there. Some of them look like they've dried out and they're going to die off, but some of them are still white and healthy. I have another cutting that has more mature leaves, and I might pot those 2 together and see if I can't get that one to grab this pole as well, because I really don't want to take this off this pole because it's on there. You can see some newer roots growing in there. And it's got some older roots down further, but they all look pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go water this. I've been staring at this for a while here, and I gotta tell you, I don't love it there. I mean, I don't hate it. I like that the plants on the top would get natural light, and I wouldn't necessarily have to put a light on the ceiling to give those plants some light. But I don't love it there. I really don't. My cats like to get up to the windows. My dog likes to look out the window and bark at, I don't know, frogs, birds, whatever lives outside. So I'm just not sure I love it there. I've tried to scoot it away from the wall a little bit because the cats are going to get back there. I could scoot it all the way down to the corner. There's like another 10 odd inches of space between the corner. I tried to center it between the windows and free up a little bit more of the window to the left here, but then it would drive me crazy because it's not centered. That, and someday I am going to have to put curtains, blinds, trim, etc. on these. I guess that won't be happening this winter. It's fine. It's just part of living in a house that's a DIY work in progress. That, and I'm definitely a person who likes to open the windows, even in the winter, even with plants in that room. I guess I can still get to the windows to open them, but you know, once I fill these shelves, are leaves going to get caught under the edge of the window as I'm opening and closing it? I don't know. I'm just going to go with it here. Even though, like I said, I'm not sure that I love it. I don't know where else I'd put it in here. The wall behind here on the opposite side of the room is too short because of the doorway. I could put it all the way down here at that far end where I have the bookshelf and the Dracaena, but there's an outside, like an exterior door, an entry-exit door. And I don't really want to block that, and I think it'll be close. It'll be close, even if I shove it down this way, because there's another door there. It's a very hard space to do anything with. And that's why it's become a plant room. I don't know. I think it is going to have to stay there for now. Maybe I'll figure something out in the future. But for now, I guess that's where it's going to live. Let's put some plants on it. I forgot, it's Tuesday, and this is the peace lily that I unboxed earlier in this video. And I did message the seller about it. It was the Green Escape on Etsy. They didn't get back to me until today. No, they got back to me yesterday. Communication is slow with them, but they do communicate. And so Monday, I saw that they had messaged me and said, okay, yeah, you're right. That's definitely not the right plant. Do you want a refund or a replacement? I said, ideally a replacement. Didn't hear anything back until today. And they said they'll let us know when it ships. So, easy peasy. But yeah, I potted it up. They didn't ask me to send it back. I would have if they asked me. I guess I have a regular green peace lily, so cool. It's gonna live somewhere over here. Can it live with you? This amplissumum, there we go. Okay, so I think I got the room mostly okay. I don't know, I still have a few plants I want to put in here. Like I took the larger of the monsteras out of here. I took the hookeri, Anthurium hookeri, the big one, out of here. The small one's not in here either. There's a handful of plants that need to come back in here somewhere. And I don't want to put too much behind me because I want to be able to access that closet door back there. So, yeah. I really need something to get these plants up off the floor. Like, I don't have many plant stands, like single, I don't know if you can see that one off the edge there. Well, I don't know. Little plant stands that just kind of raise them up a couple feet would be great, because there's just a lot still sitting in the floor. I don't know. I have one, like a little metal stand. It's about, you know, yay long, 3 feet long, maybe 3.5 feet tall. And it's 2-tier. Maybe I could do something with that in here somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, to the propagation part, Anthurium Vittarifolium. I did do some propagating. It was the rubber tree, the Ficus elastica, burgundy, taniki, and ruby. I just did some top cuts because I'm trying to get them fuller, and they're not looking great in the first place. So, but anyway, Vittarifolium, it's also not looking great. Never does well for me. This is the second one I've had. The first one died of some bacterial, well, it didn't die because of the bacterial issues, but it was constantly killing off every leaf that it put out, and they were just awful. They were awful. Sorry, my bird was hollering. So I'm going to try to propagate this, I guess, in moss. I've got a little bit of moss down here in a McDonald's cup. I'm not going to propagate it in that, but I'm going to put it in this. It has no drainage or anything, just because I want to keep the moss fairly consistently moist. And we'll see what the roots look like. Let me move this out of the way. I don't know how well this is going to do. I have propagated Vittarifolium before with little to no issue. Set that aside for a minute. Get my dirt bucket up here. Used soil bucket. I feel like I just repotted this spring, and it was doing okay then. I hear what I believe is roots. We'll see. No, not that many roots. It was a lot of leca in there. I just watered this and it's fairly dry. So maybe that's been part of the issue. Maybe. The roots look okay. Maybe it's just been too dry. I don't know. I really don't know. I've been watering it pretty consistently, but it's leca stuck on it if you're wondering what the big blobs are. I think I had it in leca for a while now that I think of it, and I switched it to soil because it wasn't loving leca. What is that noise? Okay, I can't even remember what I was saying. My dog was losing his mind because my husband pulled up. Alright, I'm gonna chop it. And I guess we'll see if the top reshoots. I'm wondering, like, there's no point in leaving these gnarly leaves, right? This one is pretty much completely yellow. The stem was still green, but the leaf is gone. And then this one here is just really crispy for the most part. I guess I'll leave it until it dies off the rest of the way on its own. I'm just kind of trying to cut beneath where I see where some aerial roots might form, but also above, like an apical bud or whatever they call them, a node. So that leaves me a really tiny bit of top cut there to work with, bit of stem, but I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna pick off the yuckiness, I guess. This poor thing. I'm gonna keep trying. Someday I will have a nice Vittarifolium, or maybe I'm delusional. Either is possible. Sorry, I thought I saw pests on it, but it's not. No, it's just me. Can't blame this one on pests. Just me. This is wet. It's been sitting around wet for a while. Damp. Whatever you prefer to call that. Moss, complete with a little spider web there. I won't actually like moisten this again until it's pretty dry, or drying. I'm trying not to like smash that growth point, even though it'll probably die off since it has no roots. I don't want to smush it either way. Oh dang, I really should have more moss. I might have to go upstairs and get it. Quit being so lazy, Jennifer. I guess I'll stick it in the cabinet because it's pretty warm, pretty bright in there. It's off to the side here, that's why I'm looking that way. It's just not enough. I don't know, it might be. I mean, it's covered. It just doesn't seem very secure. Maybe I'll leave it like that. Do I have something to raise that up with? Is it going to just fall through? Nope, that'll do. And I'm just going to stick it in the cabinet just as it is and cross my fingers. For now, though, I'm going to set it aside. I have a couple other plants that I wanted to repot. There's a bunch of Hoyas that need propagating. I'm just putting it off because Hoyas drip everywhere. That, and I think I want to propagate them into either leca or pon, because it's just the easiest way to root them for me. Water spills over very easily, and leca and pon are kind of, you know, they got some weight in the bottom to hold themselves upright. So that's why I prefer to do it that way, or directly in soil, but it's not really propagate directly in soil season. I don't have a lot of luck with that in the winter. Alright, anyway. This is Calathea warszewiczii. I think that's how you say that. I'm not sure. It's very pretty though. Well, other than it's a little bit beat up. But I thought it was half dead, so I kind of left it alone to fend for itself. And it's about to bust out of this pot. It is doing well. So I guess I should repot it. It's got a dead growth in here. But other than that, some of the leaves are a little bit beat up, but I'm going to leave them alone. It's putting out new leaves. So, you know, maybe it's not so bad. And I haven't forgotten the Vittarifolium stump. I just don't know what I'm going to put it in yet. So it's sitting to itself. Yeah, I think it's warszewiczii. I guess it's still in the nursery pot. I don't know. But we're going to upsize it to this. And I think that'll give it, it's just dry every day. Give it room to grow, especially where it's growing in the cabinet. It dries really, really quick. Alright, soil is all the way across the room. Alright, that battery might die on me. Where can I put my little Vittarifolium stump? It's in the wind, just getting drier and drier. I guess I'll stick it down there. Sticking it in a cup, just to keep it somewhere that I don't lose it or dump more soil on top of it. Okay. Because we're going to unpot this one. Wow, it's tight in there. Ooh, ooh, okay. Yeah, I guess it was ready for a repot. It was ready. I don't see anything weird or suspicious in the root area. I'm going to leave it alone and not loosen it at all and just plop it right back in a different pot. See if anything loose will knock off the top. It's pretty on the verge of hydrophobic, I'd say, this soil. Maybe I'll just give it a squeeze. Alright, that's about all I'm going to do. I've had mixed results every time I repot a Calathea or Maranta. Some of them take right off and do great. Other ones just completely die on me. So I try not to fool with them any more than I have to, as far as like repotting or whatever. Not a little bit higher up. Same soil I put everything in. It is pretty chunky, but I'm just gonna have to water more, that's all. Is that... Phew, that doesn't leave much room around the sides for, like, you know, growing room. Is what it is, I guess. This is what I have. I mean, I'm sure I have more if I go look, pots of different sizes, I mean, but clearly I'm not going to go look. I should. I've got a bunch of pots that need to be washed again. There's a few in here even from the last time I was repotting. But yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, actually, the last time I was repotting is earlier in this video, I believe. I'm not sure what order I've edited this into. I'll try to do it in the order that it happened, because that'll make a lot more sense to everyone. But sometimes I leave something out until later on, and then I'm like, oh, I need to stick that in somewhere, you know. It's just the way my brain works. Just trying not to leave any big air pockets. I think particularly the roots on Calathea, Maranta, there's another one, Tenanthe, generally don't prefer too much air around the roots. They like their soil and their water. Alright, I am definitely going to go water this one because it was very dry. Do I have it? Will this fit in here? I don't think it will. Don't love it. I think a lot of the cover pots also are upstairs. Alright, but I am going to water this one. You know what? I can water it right here, because I'm lazy. You know what? Let me put that Vittarifolium in something and water them both at the same time, so I'm not dragging things back and forth unnecessarily. Okay, the battery died. Imagine that. I think I am going to put the stump right in this, actually, because it's clear, and I don't think I have any clear pots of an appropriate size. This isn't really an appropriate size, is it? Hold on, let's see what the next size up I have. I kind of want to monitor the roots to make sure they're not rotting, since it has no foliage. That's okay. I think I'll do this one instead. It came out of something of a similar size anyway, right? Yeah, similar. This actually might be a little bit bigger because it doesn't taper quite so much. Can you see that? Yeah. And I'm not sure, I wasn't overwatering it. There's no root rot. They're just very dry. I think this is the way to go. Watching me get wishy-washy about which planter to put an anthurium in. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. And I think I'm going to pot it maybe slightly deeper than it was, but I still want the top visible. That seems good. That seems like a plan. I don't know if you can see, but there's a soil bin down there. I don't know if I want to bring, I have like a craft table on wheels that folds up. I don't know if I want to bring that down here or not. It's heavy. It's upstairs at the moment. Or maybe the desk, but the desk is bigger, I think, than the craft table. I could push it somewhere, but I would really like it up against the wall somewhere when I push it out of the way, so. Not a lot of usable wall space in this room. Oop. Hence my dilemma. It would be nice if one of these grew, whether it's the top or the base here. I don't really want to buy it again, but I'm also pretty determined to have a nice Vittarifolium someday. I think this plant, when it came to me, it was in soil, and I had this bright idea that I was going to try to grow it in leca. And I don't think it did anything for quite a while, like nothing, except for maybe kill off a leaf or two. And, you know, that wasn't the goal. So I put it back in soil, and it's grown but it's also killed off as many leaves as it's put out. Like I said, I think it may be just too dry. And I found with my other Vittarifolium that it was very forgiving of being a little dry. You know what I mean? It didn't want to be waterlogged all the time, which I kind of do waterlog most of my anthuriums, even the little ones, without too much issue. So I don't know, this one here, maybe I haven't figured it out. I don't know what it wants from me. Well, clearly I haven't figured it out. I'm gonna build that up even higher. I don't know if you can tell, a fair amount sticking up there, but I think it'll still grow from under the soil if that's where it activates a growth point. It'll still find its way. So I think I'm gonna go a little higher with that soil. A little higher. Also, I like to be able to see the top. Because if it's, you know, drying out too much or rotting, it would be nice to know that I don't have to continue to try to care for this. So, sounds harsh, but alright. Let's get some water on these plants. Put its little tag back in there so I don't forget who it is. It's hard to tell when you're just looking at a stick. I will find a better cover pot for that eventually, I promise. Ugh. Oh, water's going everywhere. Alright. That looks pretty well saturated. Maybe over here a little bit. But there's water coming out of the drainage holes in the bottom, and I think it'll pick some of that back up. This one here won't have that opportunity. Unless I put it in a tray. I think I'll put it in a tray. That way I can actually see the water moving through the plant. Sooner or later I'm going to have to go get a nice cover pot anyway. I have one upstairs. It's like 1970s gold, yellow, mustard, orange. I don't know. It's that color. And that's probably what this will fit in, I think. There's actually nobody living in that right now, so that's convenient. Alright, I have water running out of the drainage holes. Alright, there's quite a bit of extra water. I should put those on the floor so the cats don't knock them over. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's getting hot. Okay, so I have some plants that I want to repot. I'm going to end up doing a lot more repotting than I thought I was going to do. There's a few bigger ones behind me, a banana that I wanted to separate out and repot and whatnot. And then over here I've got a Maranta silver band. I think I want to down pot it because some of it has definitely died off. And that'll give me a chance to look at the roots in there because I'm not sure what's going on. It doesn't look bad, but I don't want to wait until it looks bad because it just doesn't look as wonderful as it once did. I don't know. I'm going to down pot it, I believe. Into one of this 7-inch clear pots. I guess that's maybe an 8 or a 10-inch, does it say on the pot? No, it says 64 ounces. Not helpful. But anyway, some of it died off. I did clean it up, pull it out, you know, the dead stuff. So I'm gonna pull it out of this pot. Ugh. I'm getting a really big to be washed pile and see what it looks like in there. Not bad. It doesn't have a ton of roots for this pot though. I'm just going to break some of it. It's very heavy soil. Break some of this off so that we can get some fresh soil in there. Do I want to really bust it up? I think I do. Yeah, there's still some more. There's a fly. Dead leaves here and there. It's definitely fly season where I live. Flies and, not fungus gnats, what are they called? Fruit flies. Them little flies that fly around like they're drunk all the time. I'm just looking at the center of this root ball. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't. I am being pretty aggressive with this. It's kind of rude to this plant. It's going to be okay though, I'm fairly certain. But I need it to fit in this pot altogether. So, I know I haven't put any soil on the bottom of the pot. I just need somewhere to set it while I fidget with the rest of it. All right. That'll do. I'm getting dirt everywhere. I just kind of swept in here after the last things that I repotted. Sorry, I'm really close. And that's even more dirt. And now I'm making a mess again. Where's the scoop? Is it buried? Where did I put that? Oh, it's in the pot, Jennifer. I think that's all right. Once again, I'm kind of twisting it so that it'll all face sort of one direction, because it's going to have to sit on a shelf somewhere. It's a lot easier if it's not a full on all sides 360-degree plant. It just makes my life easier. Why are you sticking up weird? There we go. It was too high in the pot on one side. Yeah, that's better. And I'll probably stick this in the bottom of this cabinet over here and just let it live the good life until it kind of recovers from what I've just done to it. I think it'll be all right. You know what, maybe I should shower it off before I put it in there. This one doesn't have any pest history. Not since I've had it anyway. Now the one, it's the same thing, same plant that I had in semi-hydro. That section didn't have much root when I put it in there, but it took right off, grew great, and all of a sudden it's just been going downhill. And I have given up on that. I may try again, you know, take another cutting of this plant and try it again in Pawn is what it was in. But for now, I just want to see what's going on with this one. Like I said, it doesn't look awful. Well, it kind of looks funny now. But it wasn't looking nearly as good as it once did. I'll put it that way. So hopefully it'll get happier now. I probably am going to propagate it anyway because looking at it, some of it's kind of gotten pretty branchy. Not right this moment. I am going to water it and let it settle before I start chopping on it, but yeah. Get some water. Well, it's settling quite a bit too. I might be able to top this up with a little bit more soil. Alright, I'm going to let that settle and see where that amount of water gets us because there's some in the saucer. Okay, it's fine. Wow, there's dirt everywhere around me in a 360-degree radius. Or potting soil. This here is, I just went outside and got some more of the potting soil because some of the pots that I have to fill are pretty big and I don't think this is going to go far enough. So, yeah. That's why this is sitting here, because I know I'm going to have to mix more. I'm trying to break up some of the clumps while I'm here, playing it in anyway. Okay, I wanted to repot this Philodendron Summer Glory, because it's in a small pot. Like this container that it's sitting in looks pretty big, but the pot is only maybe a foot long. And it's not that it's growing out of it, it's just that I water it every other day. And it's drying a lot in the one day that I don't water it, so. I just don't have, I have either like a 3-foot long planter or, you know, round planters. But I really want to get it in another planter, maybe 2 foot. But not today, not today. Just don't have it yet. And then these here are some Dracaena marginatas, and I've just been wanting to combine them into the same pot to attempt to make my life a little bit easier. They are a little bit different. There's 3 in this pot, and it's got lovely color, and then there's just 1 in this pot. It had 2 friends with it, but they died off, and this one just kept on growing. They were both, I want to say, in 4-inch pots when I got them. One was a gift and the other one I purchased. I can't remember which is which. These were really teeny. They're drying quick. This one here, it's kind of got some stems showing at the top. It's lost a lot of its soil and it's pretty dry all the time. So I'm going to get those into, hopefully, this pot here. It's, how many inches are you? 10 inch. It's a 10-inch pot. So I'm going to try that. Set that there for the moment. I'm going to have to go dump my compost here. I think this has been in here since last fall. Yeah, it's got roots all the way around the bottom. Not so many at the top. But there we go. Pretty good amount at the bottom. I'm sorry, I'm looking off the camera there to see if I can see in the preview to make sure I'm actually showing you. They look good. They look good. I think I just watered it yesterday, and like this is not as wet as I would expect for a plant that was just watered maybe 12 hours ago. It's just thirsty in its little pot. All right, I'm gonna see what the other one looks like. Oop. Hold on, I didn't think I was gonna be able to get any more soil off without wrestling it, and now it's coming off, so. There's some leca in here too. But the roots look good. No creepy crawlies in there. That's always wonderful. It looks like the last time I repotted it, I literally just took it out of the pot and plopped it into another. I don't know if you can see the older root ball there, or older root mass. But yeah, I just took it out and plopped it in. It doesn't look like I loosened it at all. Plants don't care so much. Most plants, they'll just find a way. So, all right, this one here. Oh, y'all. Well, at least there's no creepy crawlies down in there. There's a root sticking through though. Cool. Oh my. So that was like a really shallow pot, considering it doesn't look like it. It's only like 4 or 5 inches deep maybe. I mean, that was the depth of it. It's like, I guess it was one of the self-watering ones. I'm making so much mess. I'm gonna have to vacuum in here. Sweep something. And I'm out of room in this bucket. Set that to the side because I'm just making a huge mess here. How do I connect that back on? Because I'm gonna put the soil in this pot to get it out of my way. Oh, such a mess. I'm telling you, I told somebody that I was a messy and chaotic person, and I don't think she believed me, but she was over here the other day. My birds were screaming, dog was barking. I had like 3 gigantic plants sitting in the middle of my kitchen floor waiting for water. It's like, when she got here, I was like, I told you. I warned you. It's loud and chaotic in here. Like my bird thinks that if, sorry, plant in your face. My bird thinks that if someone's over here, they're here to visit him, I guess. I don't know. Gosh. This soil is going everywhere but where I want it to go. These plants don't have systemic in them, by the way, or I would not be digging in with bare hands. It's imidacloprid, and I believe that's the active ingredient in like some stuff that you put on the back of, is it your cat's neck? Like that kind of flea medication. It's fairly, I see a spot here on the root that doesn't look so good. Looks like something's chewed into it. But it's got plenty of other roots that look fine, so I'm not gonna fret. It's fairly safe. As long as you're not eating it, I guess. They don't recommend you let your cat eat it either, but still, I would wear gloves if it had systemic or any kind of pesticide in the soil, which, as I say, this does not, but something to keep in mind. I need to set it down somewhere. I'll set it with its friends here. Yeah, they're gonna fit. Ooh, gosh, look at all that. Such a mess. Such a mess. And it's all in my lap. There's no such thing as neat, tidy repotting. Or if there is, I would love to like watch some videos to learn how to do that, because I see everybody else kind of making a mess too. They just don't seem as worried about it as I am. For a messy and chaotic person, I'm mighty worried about making a mess, aren't I? Aren't I? All right, see if I can get some of my drink before I fill it with soil. It's Mountain Dew. All right, put that there for the moment. I would really love to spread these 3 out a little bit, but I just don't see that happening. So, gosh, more soil's just falling off. That's a piece of bark. That's what that is. No, that's a rock? I don't know. I know the taller of these ones, I want to pot a little bit deeper than it was, because like I said, one of the roots was like above the level of the soil. That's not ideal. Let's see, how much room does that give me? Not bad. All right. Yep. I think they're going to go like that. Can you see? Yeah. Don't you go anywhere. You stay put. Please. If I had one extra hand, I'd be unstoppable. I might have to get even more soil than I just went and got to get this banana done, because it's in a huge pot back there. There's like 7 in there. I don't know. It pups very quickly and easily. It's just like a Grand Nain is the type of banana that is. Grand Nain. And I usually separate a couple of the pups out because I plant them in my yard every year. And it's supposed to be hardy in my area, I think, is what I had read on the label that came in the plant. It's not, but I do still plant some out there every year. And they look great. Well, they look great. And then the rest of the plant stays in here with me. Or goes out in its pot until I bring it back in the fall, which is what happened this year with that one. But I think I want to actually grow one in here year round and pay attention to it, you know, instead of just like overwintering it in here basically. So just to see. I don't expect that I'll ever get any fruit. I think I've said this before in a different video where I was talking about the same banana. I don't expect to ever get fruit. That's not the point of growing it, but I just think it's really cool. It's a really cool plant. I think it's really cool to have indoors. So yeah, I'm going to get one set up to just always grow indoors. It's hard to give them enough light though. It's a full sun plant. Full sun for as much of the day as you can provide it. And I never do that indoors. I never give it extra bright light or anything. I give it enough light to survive. So this year I want to try to get it to thrive indoors. We'll see. We'll see. But to do that I might have to take 87 pups off of it. So, alright, there's that one. I've got to find a saucer for that somewhere. For now we're going to stick it as far off the screen as I can get it. Alright, that's done. What else do I have? Is the banana the next thing? I guess it is. There's also another Dracaena back there that I really love the colors of, but it's in such a heavy pot. It's hard to carry around that, and it's become unstable. It needs to be lower in a pot. Should I do that? I feel like I should do that. I'm running out of places to put soil other than in my lap. I guess I'm going to put that in here. I think that's the plan. Oh, make the soil fall everywhere. Ugh. This one got pretty beat up outside. Oh my goodness, all this soil. It got sunburnt. It's got some spider webs on it. It's really dirty. I don't see any pests though. I find that these are pretty resilient to most pests. Like if it has pests, I really have to look to find them. That's one thing I like about it, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I think its roots are pretty shallow, I guess. I don't know why it's like that. Oh, why do I feel like I have systemic in this one? It looks like I do. I'm gonna go get some gloves. Better safe than sorry. Okay, gloves acquired. I think this one, the reason I suspected it had systemics, it came in the same time a lot of the plants that I put systemics in, and it kind of looks like I might have put some granules down in here. I don't know why. I think I was just going off with the systemic because I was paranoid. This is the pot that I think I'm going to put it in. We'll see what the roots look like. If I can go smaller, I will. Of course, it's not going to come out easy. It's just waggling. Well, the roots are already deeper than I was supposing they were going to be. But it's in here pretty good. Oh, it's so heavy. It's not even a very big pot. It's just a heavy little pot. There we go. Oh. Okay. Ooh. I feel the roots like tearing. I wouldn't say this is the healthiest root system. This soil seems fairly dense. I don't know, there's some bark in here. I don't know, but either way, it's been in here a while. I don't know if I need a pot necessarily that big for this, though. I'm looking for something like intermediate. Yeah, the roots don't look that bad, but they're not as like chunky as the ones on the other ones. So they're really fine compared to the other ones. I don't know if you can see them, but okay. Phew, it is warm in here. 76. It feels a lot warmer than that. I've got the fan on if you can hear it. I apologize, but I'm warm and I need airflow. Could have gone in that pot. That pot tipped over a lot though. Will it go in one of these? I don't know if I should be putting it in one of these though. It's pretty tight, isn't it? I guess that's reasonable. I don't know, can you see? It's not completely unreasonable for the amount of roots that's there. Alright, that's what we're doing. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Why am I so messy? Most of that just went in the floor. Got some soil in the bottom of this pot. I don't want it to sit right on the bottom. I think I need more soil in the bottom of this pot. I would really like it if it was just a little bit more stable in its pot. I have another one of these somewhere still. Oh, it's right here, like under the summer glory. Right here. Also looking pretty beat up, but I don't think I want to repot that one just yet. It could probably go in one of these. But for now, I'm gonna let it ride. Let it ride and see where that goes. I really do want to get these banana done today, and potentially my variegated pink lemon tree. I really hope this helps to stabilize this plant, you know, just a smidge. That would be great. Super. See what I mean? I just tried to let it go and it just, whoa. I don't think I have a stake that'll be of any service to this plant. Like the ones I have are those clear acrylic ones, and they're okay for small plants or plants that are holding themselves up but have vines that would like to go up. It's not great for support. It's fine for like trellising. There we go. Those are the words I'm looking for. Maybe I should put a rock next to it. I don't know what's up with it. Like, if I didn't know better, I'd think it had root rot. But the roots were fine, much to my surprise. Alright, I don't want to bury that too deeply, but I think I am going to have to find some rocks or something to hold that up. For now, I'm going to lean it on something. Not the banana, because I'm getting ready to remove that. I guess just lean on the Monstera Aureus pole for now. Okay, I'm going to be right back after I go ahead and mix up some more soil here, because, yeah, that banana is going to take quite a bit. Can you see it? It's in a big pot, not because it's a huge plant, because there's a lot in there. So, yeah, I'll be back. Whew. Okay. Is it bad to turn the air conditioner on in October? It's warm in here. It's only 76 degrees. What's wrong with me? It's fine. All right. So this is the banana. It's not huge, but you know, it's only been growing outside for a few months, and they do get a lot bigger a lot faster in the ground. But there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think about 10 in here. This is going to look pretty brutal, but I think I'm just going to rip the whole root ball up, see if it comes up in a piece. I don't know. No, it's not going to. Daggone it. Nothing's going to be easy. Maybe if I squish the pot a little bit. Oh my gosh. This might be tighter in the pot than I thought. Let me try that again. There's so many dead leaves on here. I don't know if you've ever repotted banana, but at least this kind anyway. It smells like banana. It smells like green banana or a banana peel, not necessarily like banana bread or anything like that. But yeah, it has a banana-ish smell to it. And these leaves are tough to get off. This does not have any systemic in it. And I don't have too many like pesty issues with it. So, oh, it's gross. Like, that is really wet. It's dripping. And it smells like banana. Yeah, pesty issues I don't really have. Indoors in the winter, spider mites. But other than that, I don't know if I've ever had any other pests on it. I don't think I have. So I don't put systemic in it. And I wouldn't anyway, because not that I'm ever going to get fruit or eat it, but someday I'm going to die. And I don't know what my kids are going to do with it afterwards. They might give it to somebody. They might have some luck growing it and decide to eat the fruit. And even after so much time, I don't know. what systemic would do if a person consumed fruit that was grown in it. I prefer not to find out, so. Yeah. Oh, there was a bigger one in here. I guess this was the one that I put out in the spring that had died back right to the... It's still firm though. I don't know. To a, I want to say a corm because that's kind of what it looks like there, but it's more like a rhizome, I guess. I don't know. These are probably all connected together somewhere underneath this soil. Let me see if I can wrestle it again. Bear hug it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a colony of ants in the bottom of it. Daggone it. I should have known. Alright, I might take it outside and beat the soil off of it, and then I'll be back, because I really don't want to encourage a colony of ants to live in my house. Oh, they're running away. Alright, let me take them outside. Man, there's a lot of ants in here. I'm back with the gloves. I just don't want ant guts on me. It's got good roots, though. I don't know if I'm going to be able to downsize these as much as I had hoped. I don't know. I don't know. First things first, I guess, is get some of the soil off. Man, this is a dense root ball. What have I done? I've got banana juice on me. Am I crawling off the frame? Sorry. Crawling out of frame. Ugh. Just still working on these roots. Still working at it. That's chunky. Oh, it still weighs a ton. There's an isopod. Look out, buddy. There's one. Two and three. I'll clean up on them a little bit more when I get them inside, but for now, 4 and 5. It looks like I broke 6 down there. It's okay, it'll be back or it won't. I'm trying to get a fair amount of this dirt off. I'm wondering if I should like really blast it with the hose. I want to bring like ant eggs back in the house. I don't know. I don't know. I do have mosquito bits in there, but I don't know if it does anything for baby ants. I think ants are lovely outside. And not in my plants, preferably. The roots look pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I'm breaking a lot of them off. Ripping these apart like this, but there's that one. Boy, they're really together. And get ready to be brutal. Okay. This one has 3 together. 2 little ones. There's that. I feel some old, like, stump down here or something. Feels gloopy. Not gloopy, but like dense. Maybe it's old soil. I think it's just like a different kind of soil now that I'm looking at it, because it doesn't look like gross or anything. Yeah, I guess when I repotted it, once again, I didn't do this. I just took the whole root ball as it was and stuck it in there, which is fine. It doesn't, the plant doesn't care. It really doesn't. I'm just being so disruptive now because, like I said, I want to separate them and hopefully get rid of a lot of little ants. I'm making a mess in the yard. I think my husband's going to complain because of the grass under here that's going to die. I'll rake it out. I'll rake it out. Or rake it in. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. I think this was the biggest one of them, which is not that big, but yeah. And then this was the stump that this year's grew from, was this chunk here. I don't know if I want to try to get these last 3 off here or not. I think I have enough and they will all pup. And some of those are probably going to get planted together anyway for space reasons, to just overwinter until they come back out here in the spring. I don't know. We're here. I guess let's soldier on, see what we come up with. I can kind of see them here. I wonder if they'll break away with any roots of their own. Oh yeah, a little bit. That's probably enough. How about you? Yeah, and then I'm just gonna leave that for the ants to play in, I guess. All right, let's go back inside. I don't think I am gonna blast the soil off the roots. I don't really see any ants running around up on these parts. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be some problems later because I didn't do this. I mean, as far as ants, let's hope mosquito bits keeps them from hatching out. Doubtful, but we'll see. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can see. Maybe not. Let me move you down. Look out, PP. I need somewhere to set these. How about in the pot? They're probably gonna go in. Move you back here. Okay. One ladder, Peep Peep. Okay, I'm done with the gloves. My hands are sweating. Oh, I'm covered in dirt. Ew. Great day. Look out, Peep Peep. Look at all the dirt. We made a mess, Peep Peep. Can you move? Ma'am. Alright, Wayne, look out. Alright, I'm gonna, no! Wayne, back up. Back up. What's the matter? Did you think the ants were gonna carry me away? I did. I thought so. Yeah. Thanks. You're a good boy. I'm a good boy. Good boy. Good mommy baby. Okay, you gotta look out. You gotta look out. Okay, I guess I'm allowed to continue now. I'm gonna start with some of the smaller ones, I think. In here. I'm definitely gonna need more soil, aren't I? Yeah. Maybe I should go from the bigger one to the smaller ones. How about that? This one here, which I just dropped in this pot, and that's the one that's gonna live in, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's got plenty of root to fill it. Some of those might die off because I was aggressive. Quite aggressive, you know what? Let's get a bigger scoop. Get in there. It really smells like banana in this room now. Alright, can you see that? I hope you can see that. Oh, I did break a root right there. It didn't look like it was the first time I broke that root. I know it looks like I'm burying this pretty low, but I will pull it up because I want the entire crown exposed. Or what would be the crown if it didn't have foliage. I want it up. So I'm just filling it like this. Because that way when I pull it up, hopefully soil will fall down in between all those roots. We hope. Okay. Okay. I guess that's okay. That's pretty good. I don't think I want to go too much higher than that with the soil. It's probably going to be a little wonky for a few days, but I think it'll figure itself out in time. Alright, that's one. I don't know how many separate ones I want to have. The mess I'm making. Baby, you gonna let me make a mess like this and just supervise them? You're covered in soil, man. Okay, I've got this pot, so maybe I'll put the next biggest one in this pot. I think it's got a friend anyway. Let's see, that one. Or this one. This one looks a little bit bigger. This one. I guess we'll stick that one in there. Should I do two in this pot? I don't think so. My goodness. My bananas went off. Sit over there. I'm sorry, Pee-Pee. I'll probably put these smaller ones together though. Sure. Sure. Oh, daggone, there's more. There's one. I didn't realize I dropped all these out. And I've broken some roots on the bottom. There we go. This pot was clean when I started. I guess it's still clean enough. It's just a little bit dusty and dirty now. Sorry, something weird at the end of a root. It was just growing through like a piece of moss or something that was in there. It was spongy and I thought it was the root, but it wasn't the root. That's where I'm going with that. Boy, I hope you can see what I'm doing, because I sure can't see the viewfinder, and I forgot to turn the monitor on before I started. I got roots sticking straight up in the air. Get down in there. Okay, roots. Shoo. I've almost used this 50-pound bag of soil or whatever I got. It was Fox Farms. It was the biggest bag I've ever seen of it. And I got it, I want to say beginning of summer, late spring, beginning of summer, somewhere in that neighborhood. May, June. And I think I have enough to mix this bin one more time maybe. So it lasted me a while. I can't even tell you how many plants I've repotted with that. But I don't use it just straight out of the bag either. It is amended when I use it. So, you know, with bark and even more perlite. It looks like it has a little bit of bark and perlite and stuff in it, but I want it chunkier. I don't think I've used that soil, just that on anything I have. Pretty sure I haven't. I've added stuff to it for everything. But I am very happy with that soil. It's Fox Farm mycorrhizae and earthworm castings and whatever else they put in there. But yeah, so far it's treated me right. All right, there's that guy. These are all gonna need some water. Wow, there's cobwebs in the bottom of that. It's been stored in my shed for quite a while. Can I just jam all these together? There's another little one. Is that the one I said I broke? Yeah, that's the one I broke. Shoot, there's another big one. I think it's gonna go in this pot. It's not gonna stay in this pot long, but it is gonna go in this pot. Yeah. Can you see it? I guess we can see. Shoo. I'm gonna have banana plants all over the house. One of my kids is gonna have to take some of these home. I need to get up with my youngest girl anyway, because there's a few plants that she might be interested in, so. And she can come get them. The one I said had thrips. I think she's gotten them under control. But yeah, she's got a tent in her house, and I don't know if her tent's full. I have no idea. I haven't been over there to see it. I mean, I've seen her house. I mean, since she set the tent up, I haven't been over there. She might want to hold off on getting more plants. I don't know, because they're buying a house, and it would be less she has to move that way, I guess, if she waits to get them. I don't know. Alright, I guess that'll do for that one for now. For now. Oh gosh, that's already 3 pots of banana. What am I doing to myself? Because you know that I'm just going to be doing this again with all these pots next year if I don't find a home for these. I love bananas. I do. Like the plant. But I just don't know if I need that many. That, and I'm actually thinking about buying one of the variegated bananas because I don't think I've ever had one. Pretty sure I haven't. I think this is basically the only kind of banana I've ever grown. Because it's just prolific and it's tough, and that's why. These are not going to fit in this. Yeah, they'll fit. They might not stay there long, but they'll fit. Hopefully I've got enough soil. This one. All right. Okay, sorry, my husband was asking me to look for some tool in the closet. There was no tool in the closet. I ended up with 4 pots of banana, and I don't know if that's better or worse than one gigantic pot. It'll be easier to carry it back and forth and water it. I'll just have to do it 4 times instead of 1 time with a huge pot. But like I said, I am hoping to rehome at least 2. I'll keep 1 to plant outside and keep the other one to pup again. So that's the plan. I'm going to go water everything, which is only a few things that I didn't water, the Dracaenas, and I guess the bananas, and then I'll be back. So I mentioned I propagated maybe I mentioned it, I can't remember, this video has been going on for a few days. 3, 4, but actually for 5 days. It's been a 5-day span since I started recording. Mentioned that I propagated the burgundy Ficus elastica, which this feels soft. It's only been in here a little while in water. It's a little cloudy from the latex. There's also Taniki and I was going to say ruby. No, it's just Taniki and burgundy. I didn't wash the leaves, so I'll probably take them and like hose them off in the sink, put some fresh water in here, and just let them ride. It was yesterday, my time, when I did this. So I wasn't really expecting anything, but they don't look mushy at the bottom, so that's good. I am going to propagate a few more things. I think Philodendron, because my Atabapoense here is off the top of its pole. So I'm going to cut it, I think, right about here, just below the top of the pole, and I'm going to water propagate that as well. Let me get some snips, snippy snips. Maybe they'll make it through that stem. I don't think it's actually rooted into the pole anywhere, or if it is, not much. Where am I going to cut it? Right here? Because all the leaves are kind of sizing down after this leaf. Yeah. I should cut it way back. I'm going to cut it way back. I don't think, like I said, I don't think any of it's grabbing the pole, so hopefully I won't have a hard time getting it off there. I even wrapped saran wrap around there trying to get it to grab the pole. But I don't think it's in there very deeply, if anywhere or at all. Looks like I wrapped around 2 nodes. The roots instead came out of the front. The aerial roots, I mean. So, let's see. Oh, yep, came right off. Okay. Woohoo! It's a big cutting. I'm going to do a couple single nodes out of this and a top cut. Yeah. Let me get you around so we can see. I'll put the Velcro back on this just so it doesn't fall off the pole / base of the plant here. Just so it's not flopping in the breeze. I'm probably, if I can get these rooted, at that point I will probably cut the rest of this plant up as well, because it's in too big of a pot. The pole is not my favorite kind. I don't like these full wire poles. Wire across the front's fine, but I want to close back. They dry very, very quickly. This one's actually still moist for once. Semi. Anyway, see if I can back up. This is the cutting I just took up the plant, because it had nice big leaves, but then when it got off the top of the pole, not so much. Small and not very big. That's fine. I love this plant at any size. And we went from a nice thick chunky stem to a thin one. It also went from like coming out pretty much immediately, getting woody, back to green. So not that that's a problem, but I just want the plant to grow well, and it wasn't doing so great off the top of the pole. The petioles are pretty long and hard to manage, so it's got to be consistently doing well for me to keep it growing. And the petioles on what's left of the plant are much shorter. I don't know if you could perceive that from the angle we were looking at it, but this petiole is probably 2 feet long, and the leaf, I'm gonna say 18 inches on that leaf, maybe. So yeah, it's a space commitment. I don't know what I put with, oh, the snips that I just had, where I put them. Phew. These aerial roots, considering that they're older, they don't look too bad. I have hope that they'll root from there, so I'm not gonna trim those. Oh, there's one node here. It kind of looks not great. The root, I mean. It'll find a way or it won't. But yeah, we're gonna make some single node cuttings just like that. 1 leaf, 1 node. And see how it does. I'm gonna set them somewhere to dry out on top of this soil bin down here. Same thing here. Boy, that's chunky. I'm not gonna let them dry forever, but for a while. And I'm looking to see if I can see, okay, yeah, where the new growth will come from, which is on this one right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's just a little bump. One more cutting. Whoop, didn't go all the way through. There we go. There, that's not a very clean cut. And there's its little bump right there. And I might just break this. Sure, I'm in a wind tunnel here. The fan is blowing right there. I think this last leaf that's overly large for the size of what I've got here, I think I'm just gonna take that leaf off and then let it root here at the base there, and that be my new root system / plant. Because it'll look weird with one large leaf. Besides, it'll be planted under the potting mix at some point. So yeah, we're gonna snap it off. Will it just pop off easy, or is it gonna fight me? It's well watered, I'll say that. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it. because I'm afraid I'm going to snap the whole thing there. But yeah, so that I have that much to pot when it roots, hopefully. Hopefully. And oh, it was such a nice leaf. And the next one I wanted to propagate is this one right here. Oh, it's sticky. It is really sticky. Extra floral nectaries. It's the Philodendron Repotting. No. Bicolor. Philodendron Bicolor. It's fine. I just want to get it on a moss pole. And I think that'll be easier to do with a smaller plant that has the growth from one side. This kind of is growing every which way because it's supported by a little piece of bamboo down in there. I'm going to go wash my hands because that's really sticky. Okay, I'm going to cut it back a ways again as per usual, right down here. That gives me enough room to get a top cut and a couple single node cuttings off this guy. It's a very nice plant, very nice indeed. But yeah, just in the interest of getting it growing more well behaved. And it's got really long internodal spacing. Can you say? Maybe. Mayhap you can. It's long. Right, so this one here, it's really easy to see where the newer growth will come from because it's red if we're focusing. And the internodal spacing is so long I really don't have to pay attention to where I'm chopping it. As long as I have an aerial root, a leaf, and a node. That's all I'm worried about. And I'm going to put them right here with the Atabapoense to dry out because they look different enough. I'm not going to confuse them. Someone said this is warszewiczii, that it's like bicolor AF. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't care. I like the plant. It's pretty. It's pretty. I like long strappy leaves on my philodendron. So there's that guy, and I just left this as a top cut one leaf. The point will probably die off or like rot inside the sheath, but it'll grow from somewhere else. It's fine. I'm not fretting about it. I'm gonna let those dry a while and then I'm gonna plunk them in some water. I'm gonna go wash these because they're really gooey now. All right, it's been, I don't know, 20 minutes probably, I guess. I'm gonna stick them in here. It's just a pot, cover pot, I guess, pot with no drainage that I got from Dollar General. We'll stick them in there with some water. I think all of them are gonna go right in here, including the top cuttings. If I can, ooh, fidget them in there. That sounded crunchy. What did I do? Wow, roots in the air. They're pretty dried out, so I think those roots are just gonna rot anyway on this plant that I'm smashing them down in there. And then these are all Atabapoense. We'll see how they do. Not great if I don't keep them in there, huh? Oh, I was trying to stick the one that, the leaf that I cut off, that I said it was a pity because it was a nice leaf. It has no node. It might survive a while, but it will not grow or root. All right, this one. Let's get some water in there. That's getting heavy. I'm gonna drop that. All right, so it's about half full, and I think it's covering all of the little nodes. Just make sure we're tucked down in there. Anybody who's sitting high, like you. Oops, and I pulled another one up while I was at it. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Let me show you what it looks like in there. So yeah, they're just covered. I'll probably change the water tomorrow, and to be honest with you, I'll probably forget it forever after that, until it's rooted out and needs to be potted up. I am not the most on top of changing my water, so my propagation water, I mean. Alright, where can I set you where the cats won't tip you over? It won't fit in the cabinet. It's bigger than the cabinet. That's the problem with big cuttings. Where do you put them to root? Maybe I'll put them up here. I'll get some natural, oop, Lord knows, they're falling out. They'll get some natural light here is what I was attempting to say, without being scorched. Is everybody still in there? Are you down where you need to be? I think they are. Okay, I'm gonna leave them there. Sorry, I felt like I was super far away. There. You can see it sticking up, being ridiculous. Blocking the light from my orchid down there, and half of the light from my crystallinum even further over there. I guess it's gonna be alright. I will attempt to find somewhere better than that though, because that doesn't look great and I don't love it. For now, I suppose it's about the plant's survival. I also need to do something with my Philodendron giganteum because it's as tall as me now. The biggest leaves are like no joke, but the leaves are growing off the top of the support and they're maybe a foot long, 10-12 inches. So I'm going to top cut it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the base. I might do a couple single nodes as well. Am I going to do that today? No, I'm not going to do that today. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for now. For now, that's where I'm at. I still have other philodendrons I want to chop up. This is the mottled dragon. It's a little bit dusty, dirty, but it's to the top of the pole. One of the cuttings is just about, it's here, so it's got another 8 inches to go. And then the other one's a little further down. Once again, I just don't want it on a wire pole. So I'm going to order some more of the clear closed back moss poles and try to get some cuttings going for that. But yeah, I like that plant. Also, my Philodendron Florida Green, it's downsizing even though it is attached to the moss pole. I don't know. I think it's just been kind of neglected. It's had a rough time. It's got some EFN on it. Plenty of EFN. I think I just want to propagate that. I may or may not put it back on a moss pole. Pardon my lack of paneling in my pipe here. But we're making do with what space we have. So there's still a lot of things I wanted to get done, but this video has been going on for a few days now. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I have no idea how long this is. It's been recording for about almost 3 hours total. So yeah, it's going to be fun to edit. That's going to do it though. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.